carbon related business. Today I am doing a plantation. Next 5 years, because of doing this plantation, I will get this much of.
अनंत अंबानी ने जो एक वनतारा करके एक इनिशिएटिव लिया वेयर ही इज एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग द वाइल्ड लाइफ, उसके अंदर एग्जैक्टली लोग बोलते हैं कि ये बहुत बड़ा मास्टर स्ट्रोक है अंबानी फैमिली का.
Being Ambanis, they are big corporates and कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो ऐसे चालू नहीं करते. They don't invest simply. Positive things now looking into this Vantara as a project. It's a big project. Ambani family and they are going to generate.
कार्बन क्रेडिट्स के अंदर जो सपोज एक पर्सन है उनका 5 एकड़ की जमीन है उसके पास में एंड लैंड एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप की लैंड होनी चाहिए या इट इज एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल काइंड ऑफ प्लांटेशंस.
इट इज एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल काइंड ऑफ प्लांटेशन. सेम 5 एकड़ की लैंड में भी हो सकता है, 500 एकड़ की लैंड में भी हो सकता है. अभी मैं बोलूंगा मेरे पास ऑलरेडी लैंड है, मेरे पास ऑलरेडी 2000 ट्रीज है और उस पर मेरे को कार्बन सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा तो नहीं मिलेगा.
लॉट ऑफ लिस्टेड कंपनीज दे गेट ESG स्कोर एज वेल. इज इट एप्लीकेबल ओनली टू मैन्युफैक्चरर्स और इट इज एप्लीकेबल टू सप्लाई चेन traders, everyone?
You have to define which is more polluting industry. So yes, first aspect is coming to the manufacturer.
Very general questions which everyone asks you about ISO certifications.
The first question everybody is looking into the requirement. What is
Today's business landscape, your business not just grow on revenue. अगर आपको अपना बिजनेस ग्रो करना है, यू ऑल्सो नीड ट्रस्ट, कंप्लायंस, सर्टिफिकेशंस एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी. फ्रॉम सर्टिफिकेशंस टू कार्बन क्रेडिट्स, इफ यू डोंट नो अबाउट इट completely and you are not prepared, you are already behind. So let's break this down. I have with me an expert in this, Mr. Sharma, who is the founder and CMD of Shamkris Global. He has helped several companies, not only in India, but internationally for their compliance and certification needs. So without wasting much time, let's talk to Mr. Sharma. Hi, sir.
Hello, Aditya. Thank you.
Sir, first of all, I just want to know from you, जो आपकी journey रही है of Shamkris Global. So how did you start and how did you end up into this certification and now you're doing great work in sustainability as well?
See, Shamkris, when we started after my education in MBA in marketing and HR from Amravati University, I settled down in Mumbai. I had an experience of working with TUV, which is a certification body. Later on, because of a market gap, I find it out that companies doesn't understand that how the certification will be taken, who is going to help them out. So there is a bridge between a consultant and a certification body. So I decided that I will come up with a company as a Shamkris, which will be help companies to achieve this gap. And if there is any requirement related to certification in the industry, we can help them by providing our support in terms of consultancy, advisory, and related certification activity. So in the year 2004, we established Shamkris as a brand. Wow. And yes, it is evaluated by my name itself. So that's why Shamkris is evaluated. And today almost we have completed 22 years. And because of that, we are in a various certification business. And that's how the journey is there. Today we are one of the certification body accredited by International Accreditation Services for various standards, including various ISO standards. We have a tie-up with international bodies to provide certification for US, for Russia, for Middle East. And we also do the various compliances related to the regulations in India, which includes right from factory, pollution, fire related compliance, explosive. So you name the compliance, we have placed there and we help. So our main intent to help companies about licensing, regulatory, and help them to grow in the market, not only India but internationally.
When we talk of compliance and certifications, आपने Indian market में भी काम किया and you worked internationally as well. What is the main difference do you see in business owners' mindset related to compliance and certifications?
See, technically, अगर मैं ये आपको बताना चाहूँ कि वही से when the ISO certification, people ask us. I just want to take you way behind. In 1981, India has started the ISO certification journey. First journey started, and TUV is the certification body who has done first certification in India. But later on, if you look into today's scenario, there are various different types of certification has come up. So there is a confusion among the entrepreneurs, owners, and the international compliance, because every country is having their own compliance, every product is having their own compliance, every industry is having their own certification. So it is difficult for a one entrepreneur to understand every certification and compliance. So the first question which they ask us anytime when they come for a certification, first question asks us that when we will get the certificate. That's the first question they ask.
Correct.
So it is a very difficult answer to give them that, okay, to what time you will get the certification, because lots of activities need to be done. Some certification may be achieved in 1 month, some certification may require 1 year over time.
Yes.
Second question when they ask us that what is the price? Okay. Again, as I said, that certification doesn't come up with the only price. You need to comply those requirements, and that is another important question. So we as a Shamkris, we always believe in educating the people that instead of understanding the time, instead of understanding the price, first understand what is this requirement, how you are going to achieve it. And that is our USP in the market. We as a Shamkris, I just like to highlight here, because of this requirement, you asked the right question. Yes. We have identified two websites which is very popular, certificationinindia.com and licenseinindia.com, where we try to educate the people about maximum information about the standards, regulations, requirements, so that people can know that how they will achieve this requirement.
Before I get into the deep discussions into certifications, I just want to know from you, what are the three main questions, very general questions which everyone asks you about ISO certifications?
See, general question, as I said that right now, I said that the first question everybody is looking into the requirement, what is the price? So first is the price segment, because they feel that we have an order or we have a tender, and there is a requirement in the tender, and there is a customer requirement with respect to the delivery. So they are looking at what is the cost for me. Okay, they are not looking into. They are looking into as a commercial angle, as a you can say expenses. Yes. There is a one delivery to be done. There is one tender to be filed. So that is the one question people ask. Second question they are asked about the time when we will get it.
Yes.
Again, the major why they will asking this question, the owner or entrepreneur who is asking me this question, I am easily able to understand because of my experience, because he must be doing some business where certification is demanded immediately. Okay.
Correct.
But that's why I would like to highlight it from this channel, that certification cannot be given like this. Okay.
Correct.
It has to be compliance with respect to the need of the requirements. Okay. You have to follow with your guidelines defined in the standards, like procedures, the manuals, SOPs need to be done with respect to the standards. It has to be audited by the certification body. Who is the authority? It has to be audited, and then you get the certificate. So if you get the certificate without any pain or without any hard work, okay, it means the value of certification is zero. And it is not value to you. And that's the reason you have to follow this kind of requirement where you fulfill the entire compliance. When you get this certification, you understand how you get it. What are the compliances you need to follow? And without that, it is not possible. So I will always say that any ISO certification is not a burden. Okay. It's a value added to your business, and it will grow you.
Correct.
In your organization. So growth of your organization is based on the certification and the compliance of the certification.
What I understand is don't look at ISO certificate just as an eligibility criteria.
Yeah.
Look at it as the framework which is there, and it is going to improve your business as well.
I will give you more impression to this.
Yes.
People are looking ISO certification as a piece of paper. Okay.
Yes.
So start looking in a different mindset. It is not a piece of paper. It is a compliance. And you understand, as I said, that a basic startup company, for them, it is a expenditure. Okay. The basic startup company, there is a expenditure. They feel that we have to spend this money so that we can get the client. So initial days when you want to start a company and your company's initial want to do a turnover of say 50 lakh or 1 crore, this certification which you have taken it for branding and marketing purpose, it will work. But if you really want to grow on a bigger scale from 50 crore to 500 crore, you will not able to do without a proper compliance and proper certification. And at that time, you cannot consider the ISO certification as a piece of paper. It should be a compliance, and people should work on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What type of businesses, like from in India, there are a lot of small scale businesses and then there are large scale businesses. आपकी जो company है Shamkris Global, what type of businesses do you cater? You cater to all the businesses in general.
See, I already explained you that Shamkris Global Group, when we started with ISO certification as a main business activity.
Yes.
Later on, we expanded ourselves not only in ISO certification, we are doing industry-specific certification, which is related to, I consider that healthcare, there is a NABH, petroleum, it is API, telecommunication, it is TL9000. Juice, people are expecting the kosher should be complied. Muslim people are considered to be halal to be complied. So there are many certifications are there, which include right from quality, environment, health and safety, sustainability, social compliance, information security. So all these different type of certifications are there which you need to comply. Product certification are there like ISI mark for India products. If you look into a European, it is CE marking. If you look into US, it is a UL mark. So different product standard, different certifications are there. Another thing which we are doing from last, I will say, 6-7 years, we started into the compliance reporting. So compliance reporting, where we are looking into the compliance related to the environment, okay, which is called ESG, compliant environment, social governance. BRSR reporting, which is business responsibility and sustainability reporting. And now the new things also come up, which is related to the carbon. Okay, so carbon reporting is also now mandatory because all the big corporates, they have a mandate that you have to comply with a carbon minimum. So because of global warming, every year the global warming session has taken place in a different Kyoto protocol, So various protocols are there where we are working, and every country has taken a place that we will do the minimization of the carbon emission. So how you are going to do the carbon minimization? For that, you have to develop certain system, certain process, so that this process will be happen. So it's always coming from the top, never coming from the bottom. So the top companies, they have decided to comply with the carbon emission, and hence it is also going to be in the requirement, and we are very much in this kind of requirement. We are also providing companies in India regulatory compliances. Regulatory compliances related to factory pollution, are related to explosive item, fire, and nowadays another big requirement which we are doing as a part of compliances, as a part of Pollution Control Board, which is called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, related to plastic, related to e-waste, related to tires, okay, and all these different kind of.
About EPR it's a very interesting topic right now. Lot of business owners, so there is a term called PIBO, which is producer, importer and brand owners. So all these people, they have, like, this term is evolving. So plastic waste management rules, I think 2016 plastic waste management rules were established. उसके बाद में उसमें बहुत सारी अमेंडमेंट्स आई. वो इतना इवॉल्व हुआ तो उसके साथ में लोगों को भी इवॉल्व होना पड़ रहा था. बट यहाँ पे इसको EPR को कैसे कंप्लाई करते हैं. दूसरा ये कि लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज, उनको क्लैरिटी नहीं है कि इज EPR एप्लीकेबल ऑन देम और नो.
ओके, से मैं आपको थोड़ा सा इसका पूरा बैकग्राउंड देना चाहूंगा तो आपको ज्यादा समझ में आएगा. यू राइटली सेड द प्लास्टिक मैनेजमेंट रूल्स 2016, which is already existence. Okay, it is already mentioned that how we are going to work in that act, plastic management rules, which is defined as a part of act. In 2022, okay, government started exhaustively working on the requirement and the term known as EPR. Okay.
Yes.
So when we are saying a EPR, so extended producer responsibility. What does it mean? The meaning is very simple, that whoever is the producer is responsible for his plastic generation to be recycled. That is what is his responsibility. Now let's understand the term called PIBO. PIBO, we are talking about a producer, importer and a brand owner.
Okay.
So let me give you the two different examples so that it will be understood very well by. Say there is a importer of a watch company. They are importing a watch from Germany. They are bringing the products in a wooden pallet. okay, or wooden box.
Yes.
And they say that we don't have any plastic in this.
Yes.
Why we need this? So when we thoroughly examined the watch, we will identify that on the dial there is a plastic is placed on that.
Yeah.
So there is no scratch and all. So that is one of the plastic. Okay.
Yes.
In the wrist, you will find out some plastic is there. Okay. So there is a plastic packaging or plastic item is there which is helping them to protect the product. Okay.
Yes.
It's a protect the product.
Yes.
So when you are bringing the product, there is some sort of plastic in that watch which you are importing. So what happened to this plastic? You are going to give it to your retailers. Retailer will sell it out. It will go to the end user. So when it is going to the end user, what end user will do? End user will throw it out on the land. So it's a land pollution. So who is going to do that waste management? So that's why government come up into the requirement that who is the responsibility, whether is an importer, so he has responsible for his liability. So let's understand this as watch importer is importing a watch in a year, and in this entire watch he bring out in a year as financial year, he is having a say 3 kg of plastic by this method. It means he is responsible is 3 kg of plastic to be recycled. So that's why the recycler of the plastic, where they are registered in Pollution Control Board, they will have a recycled certificate, okay, plastic recycled certificates, and this watchman importer can credit that recycler certificate and he will say that I have done my responsibility. Similar cases can be happen to the producer of like packaged drinking water. So packaged drinking water is one who is manufacturing packaged drinking water, but in which he is giving that packaged drinking water in a bottle.
Yes.
The bottle is having a plastic and there is a label which is of a plastic and there is a lid which is of a plastic. 4 type of plastic, P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay. So if you look into a plastic bottles, it is having all 3 level of plastics. So now again, who is responsible? Packaged drinking water like a Bisleri, he has manufactured the bottle and sold out to the retailer, and from retailer we as a owner or we as a house producer have taken that bottles and after drinking we throw it out. So what will happen to this? Again, what is your responsibility? Now this Bisleri or a simple packaged drinking water company who has generated 1,000 ton of plastic. Okay. Now what is the responsibility of this? So now this particularly responsibility has to be as a liability. So it is your responsibility that you buy this liability as a certificate from one who is the recycler. So a government which is a pollution control board who were doing earlier the recycling of this plastic, and they are collecting it from the, you can say, colonies or from the waste, and they are supplying it to the recycler. Now they made a chain that owner has to be responsible. So the payment is very transparent. Correct. And you have to comply as a yearly compliance, submit all your production details so that we come to know what is the liability, and later on you buy the certificate from the recyclers, so that or government is also given the opportunity that if you are not able to buy it, you pay it as a premium what government has defined. This is how it has happened. Similarly, it is applicable to the brand owner also. So brand owner is not producing, but he is responsible because the product is sold by his name. That's why he is also coming as under this regime, and they have to comply this requirement. So technically, if you talk about, I will say government has taken a very good initiative. Nowadays, you will find out on the road, less plastic is here and there because there is a financial things is there. So there is an agency who is picking up the plastic, it is going to the recyclers, and there is an agency who is paying for that liability. So everything is solved. So it's a great initiative taken by the government, and it is helping, I will say, environmental to less plastic in the market by doing the recycle business.
आपने प्लास्टिक की बात की, सो प्लास्टिक पे सबसे पहले वो एप्लीकेबल हुआ था, एंड उसके बाद में वो और कैटेगरीज के अंदर भी एप्लीकेबल हुआ है अभी?
नहीं, मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूंगा कि खाली प्लास्टिक पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं है ईपीआर। ईपीआर पहले से प्लास्टिक में बाद में आया है, मैं आपको ये बाद में बोलूंगा। पहले आया है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट पे। ओके, सो देयर इज ई वेस्ट पे आया है, पहले ई वेस्ट पे आया, और आफ्टर ई वेस्ट इट इज नाउ मोर फोकसिंग ऑन द प्लास्टिक, एंड देयर इज अनदर 2 कैटेगरीज व्हिच इज अ बैटरी एंड अ टायर्स. So those who are responsible for bringing the tires, okay, or a producer of a tire or a brand owner of a tire, Similarly for battery and e-waste, all are responsibility in the similar regime. However, the plastic is having now more compliance, okay? Because this is the major area where focus is now more, and the yearly compliance and everything is more in plastic. Still, for battery and tire, it is, I will say, it is under making it a more compliance. But right now, those who are in plastic importer, either as a product or as a packing of the product, they have to comply as an importer also. I will like to highlight it one important thing. Who is the first caught? That's the question.
Yes.
When the new compliance is coming up, it is the one who is importer, because you have a custom department and you have to comply. So in our industry, what we feel that the first customer who comes to us for any compliance is an importer, because the custom stop the material that you don't have a compliance, and then they have to take a compliance, so that it is easy for government to implement under import segment.
मुझे एक मतलब सिनेरियो थोड़ा सा याद है जो जहाँ पे हम लोग आज रेलवे स्टेशन पे और से मॉल्स के अंदर पब्लिक एरियाज में वी सी अ लॉट ऑफ RVM machines. And there was something like rupee deposit scheme which was supposed to come out. Then it did not come out, and I did a little research on it, and I came to know Europe के अंदर they sell, say if you are buying Coca-Cola in Europe, so they sell it at a higher price, and then you put it on the RVM machine, and then you get your money back. So then they are like somehow उनके ऊपर एक mandatory हो गया कि उनको जो RVM machine में डालने के लिए. So वहाँ से उन्होंने consumer behavior change किया. अब इंडिया के अंदर भी RVM machines काफी जगहों पे अब देखने के लिए मिल रही है. इनफैक्ट lot of ministers ने काफी सारे events करे, awareness करी है. So, ये RVM machine is as a business model in India, is it growing?
See, these are the initiatives taken by government, but as I said that in India still it is not working. If somebody is in a manufacturing of RVM machines and they feel that there is a great business, the business is totally dependent upon the government. Okay,
Yes.
It's the initiative of the government. So government is having a bulk buying of these machines and putting into the various railway station, malls, or in a government segment where it is the requirement. But again, as I said that it is a behavior of the people. So it's still in India, what is our behavior? We open the door and throw out our wrappers of chips, okay, outside the road, okay. But what has happened because of this financial things which is come up as a EPR, we are now able to see less plastic in the market, because the recyclers who are registered under CPCB, they know that we will get the price of the product as a raw material. After recycling, they use as a raw material. So the raw material also sell out in the market as a raw material to some other industry, but they also generate a credit business also. So it's a market is very now in that one. That's the reason the EPR compliance is getting more. We are maybe in coming future, because more compliance is now, people don't understand this. Say somebody bringing a product in Navaseva, okay. So Navaseva, people are asking about EPR, but somebody is bringing a product in Hazira, so nobody is asking for EPR. So there is a education issue is there. So once in say 1 year, 2 year, more compliances will started. Everybody need to comply this thing, and the awareness will be more. And when a government people started asking more on this, okay, as a compliance. Similar way, when we will see the traffic police, we put a helmet, okay, because there is a fine, okay. Similarly, somebody will say, okay, Hazira mein if I am getting an import, and here it is they are asking for EPR, so it's everywhere it's going to be them. So it's, I will say, until unless government enforce this, okay, it is not going to happen. And same thing happen here also. Maximum importer, I will say maximum importer has applied for EPR, or still there are many who have not applied for EPR because of their product is not getting clear. Okay.
Correct.
So if government is enforcing this, but that will not clear your product until unless registered in this requirement and compliance yearly, they will not do it, I will say. But if it is a compliance, they will do it. And that's how the more compliance in EPR is now happening. Especially I will say Maharashtra is again bigger in EPR compliance because of more in Nava Seva. It is demanded by more. Even in Sahara, It is demanded by more, but still there are many states where the direct cargo is coming and people are not understand about that EPR compliances. Still they are getting their consignment clear without EPR. Still there is a lots of knowledge or government
lot of awareness needs
to be given to the awareness need to the people of government itself. That's how it is working. And big companies who are in plastic, especially I will say those who are using just packaged drinking water or plastic granules, those companies are already in this regime and they are the bigger part of EPR. So they are already doing this compliance. Yeah.
नो डाउट आई थिंक मोदी गवर्नमेंट ने ईपीआर या प्लास्टिक वेस्ट और एनी काइंड ऑफ वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर बहुत अच्छा अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करी है पिछले कुछ सालों के अंदर एंड लोग अब आगे से आगे आ रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट नॉट ओनली पहले ये हो रहा था कि जो बड़े ब्रांड्स थे वो ही ये सब चीज़ें फॉलो कर रहे थे, अब इवन स्मॉल ब्रांड्स या जो लोग स्टार्टअप्स कर रहे हैं वो लोग अपना प्रोडक्ट लाने से पहले दे आर थिंकिंग अबाउट कि इसका वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट कैसे करना है, एंड ऑफ लाइफ साइकिल के बारे में वो लोग सोचना शुरू कर चुके हैं.
अभी मैं आपको एक कुछ एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगा. अभी एग्जांपल मैं छोटे से ISO सर्टिफिकेशन के बारे में बात करता हूँ जिसको नहीं पता है लोगों को. ISO सर्टिफिकेशन का जो स्टैंडर्ड है और जितने भी ISO सर्टिफिकेशन के स्टैंडर्ड है उसमें एक मैंडेटरी क्लॉज डाल दिया है कि एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू टॉक अबाउट द क्लाइमेट चेंज. Okay. So even a small company who is going for an ISO certification, they have to demonstrate that from your business, what is the effect in climate. Okay. So even an ISO certification of any nature, any nature, whether it is a quality, environment, health, safety, or any social compliance, where there is a ISO standard is there, the climate change as a requirement is evolved. So as an auditor, as a certification body, when we are auditing the organization, when we are preparing for them the organization, either as a consultant or as an auditor, as a certification body, this climate change requirement is also getting verified.
Correct.
Another example I would like to highlight here that nowadays big corporate companies, I will say that Amazon, or a company called Disney.
Yes.
So these Disney, Amazon, when they have their standard compliance policy because of listed companies, because of big corporate, in their supply chain, they say that you have to comply ESG.
Yes.
When they say compliance ESG, what is ESG? ESG, it talks about environment, it talks about sustainability, it talks about governance. So when we're talking about the environment, it covers all, not only pollution, but it covers your climate change, your carbon, and everything comes into that picture. And when it is talking about a sustainability, again, it's like which kind of material you are going to use, which is sustainable.
Yes.
So there is various initiatives are there. It's a vast subject. One example I would like to highlight it here, that suppose if you are using printing, as my business. So in printing, I am using a paper.
Yes.
So paper comes from where? Paper is coming from a paper manufacturing factory. Say ITC, Khanna, various paper manufacturing papers.
Yes.
How they manufacture the paper? They use a raw material which is a paper pulp. So paper pulp, when they are using it, is coming from where? Forest.
Yes.
So there is a entire cycle which is called a chain of custody. So first forest will be certified. After forest, the material goes to the respective industry. And from there, the paper will be generated. And from paper, you can have a book publishing, you have a printing, you have a packaging. So everybody need to comply, which is called FSC certificate. So this is one example. There's various examples related to palm oil, they're related to cotton. So related to even plastic, like ocean bound plastic.
Yes. Ocean bound plastic, maybe I have a lot of questions.
So this is many segments are there. These are called sustainability. So you have to look into a sustainable source from where you are generating or what raw material you are looking forward to make the final product. And that is why sustainability comes into the picture. The plastic companies now using a recycled plastics.
Yes.
Or even in the garment industry, there is a recycle. So there various segments are there which is doing a mandatory that you should use 30% of your raw material as a recycled material. And that is how this sustainability comes into the picture. So a big corporate company is giving a mandatory to their supply chain. If you are not complying to ESG, will not buy. So what does it mean? Enforcement by a corporate company to SMEs, and now SMEs is going to comply these things, and that's how it is going to be happen. So if entire supply chain management is compliant to ESG or say carbon or say any material in between, then yes, we are talking about a climate change which is going to be a big business now.
Yes.
Yeah.
एक बार सर EPR से रिलेटेड कुछ लोगों के दिमाग में एक ये रहता है कि उनके ऊपर वो कितना एप्लीकेबल हो रहा है, ठीक है. यहाँ पे आपने एक क्लैरिटी दी हमें कि अब जो आपने एग्जांपल बताया वॉचेस के बारे में, सो इवन इन देयर पैकेजिंग में भी यूज हो रहा है, तो इट इज एप्लीकेबल टू देम. लॉट ऑफ बिग कंपनीज उसको फॉलो कर रही है, बट जो स्मॉल कंपनीज है वो उस चीज को फॉलो नहीं कर रही है. तो जो स्मॉल बिजनेस ओनर्स के लिए एक अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करनी पड़ेगी, या कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट के थ्रू भी वो अवेयरनेस क्रिएट हो रही है और लोगों को एक जागरूकता आ रही है इस बारे में कि EPR उनको फॉलो करना है. यू गेव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ ISO के अंदर ही ये रूल एप्लीकेबल है. वहां से
मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्या है ना, ISO सर्टिफिकेशन जो है उसमें रिसेंटली इन 2024 देयर इज अ न्यू रिक्वायरमेंट कम अप व्हिच टॉक्स अबाउट दैट कि जितने भी ISO सर्टिफिकेशन है, जो भी कंपनी ISO सर्टिफिकेशन ले रही है, तो उसमें उसको ये भी डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करना पड़ेगा कि हाउ आप अपने क्लाइमेट चेंज कंप्लायंस को कैसे फुलफिल कर रहे हो. ठीक है.
yes.
तो एक कंपनी अगर कोई सर्टिफिकेशन लेती है तो उसको ये डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करना पड़ेगा कि मैं कैसे मेरे क्लाइमेट चेंज जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उसको कैसे फुलफिल कर रहा हूँ. तो एक बड़ा सब्जेक्ट है. तो EPR को भी आप अगर उसमें शामिल करो क्लाइमेट चेंज में, कि आप बोल सकते हो कि भाई मैं जो भी रॉ मटेरियल परचेज कर रहा हूँ, मैं रिसाइकिल परचेज करता हूँ, या मैं मेरे यहाँ पे जो प्लास्टिक यूसेज हो रहा है मैं EPR को कंप्लायंस करता हूँ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में. सो ये सब डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन का पार्ट है. एक्चुअली आप कर रहे हो, लेकिन स्टैंडर्ड में ऐसा स्पेसिफिक डिफाइन कर दिया तो आपको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट भी करना पड़ेगा. सो ये ऐसा रिक्वायरमेंट है. ये तो एक पार्ट हो गया, स्टैंडर्ड के थ्रू आ गया. अभी जैसे मैंने आपने शुरुआत में पहला क्वेश्चन पूछा मेरे से कि ISO सर्टिफिकेशन में जब आपके पास आते लोग क्या पूछते हैं, तो प्राइस पूछते हैं, टाइम पूछते हैं. अब जिनको प्राइस और टाइम पूछना रहता है वो सर्टिफिकेट ले भी लेते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन इंप्लीमेंटेशन नहीं करते तो उनको पता भी नहीं है, तो उनके लिए क्लाइमेट चेंज जीरो है, कोई मतलब नहीं रखता है. लेकिन अभी वही कस्टमर है, सेम कस्टमर है, SME कस्टमर है, लेकिन वो सप्लाई कर रहा है जारा, which is a garment manufacturing or garment brand.
Yes,
Zara is a big brand.
Yes.
तो जारा की जो compliance है which is called Inditex, okay?
Yes.
अब उस compliance में उन्होंने quality, environment, health safety, social compliance सारे सब कुछ डाल रखा है. तो वो क्लियर है इस मामले में कि when you are demonstrating your requirement, आप मेरे कंप्लायंस के थ्रू जाइए. अब उस कंप्लायंस में उसको ये डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करना पड़ेगा कि तुम्हारा जो वेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा है उसका तुम क्या कर रहे हो. ओके, सो इफ यू आर जनरेटिंग ई वेस्ट, उसका क्या कर रहे हो. इफ यू आर जनरेटिंग ए प्लास्टिक वेस्ट, तुम उसका क्या कर रहे हो. ठीक है. तो प्लास्टिक वेस्ट में तुम्हारे को आपको EPR दिखाना पड़ेगा. और अगर आपका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट है, आज हमारे ऑफिस में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोबाइल है, डेस्कटॉप है, लैपटॉप है, बहुत सारी चीजें होती है, तो उसके लिए हमें क्या दिखाना पड़ेगा, उसके हमारे को दिखाना पड़ेगा कि ई वेस्ट में हमने रजिस्टर किया है, कि ई वेस्ट एजेंसी को हमने बेचा और उसका सर्टिफिकेट दिया. यू हैव टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट दैट पर्टिकुलर रिक्वायरमेंट. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड ये जो इंडीटेक्स की रिक्वायरमेंट में ये भी रिक्वायरमेंट आ जाएगी कि आप अपना कार्बन इमिशन आपके बिजनेस में कितना है. So you have to demonstrate that with your activity, okay, what is the level of emission you are doing, okay? So right now आपको demonstrate करना है कि कितना emission है आपका, okay? वो ये नहीं बोल रहे कि emission जीरो करके दो, okay? But in future it will come where the corporate companies will say that भाई आपका emission इतना है, आप इसको जीरो करके देना पड़ेगा. जैसे हम प्लास्टिक में जीरो करके दे रहे हैं, वैसे कार्बन में भी जीरो करके देना पड़ेगा. तो जीरो करके कैसे देंगे, वो जीरो करके देंगे हमें किसी और से खरीदना पड़ेगा या हमको खुद को करना पड़ेगा. सोलर लगा के करना पड़ेगा, ट्री प्लांटेशन करके करना पड़ेगा, या हमारे मशीनरी की इफिशिएंसी बढ़ानी पड़ेगी. और इन सारी चीजों से भी अगर कार्बन इमिशन कम नहीं हुआ तो क्या करेंगे. तो हमें ऐसी कंपनी जो कार्बन पॉजिटिव है, जैसे सोलर वाले होंगे, ठीक है, जैसे बायोमास ब्रिकेट वाले होंगे, जिनके पास सोलर मतलब कार्बन पॉजिटिव है, वे लोग को किसी एक ट्रेडिंग में, जिसको हम CCTS बोलेंगे आने वाले समय में, ठीक है, उसमें हमें रजिस्टर करना पड़ेगा. ओके, और उनके पास जो सर्टिफिकेट होंगे वो ट्रेडेबल होंगे और हमको उनको परचेज करके हमारी कंपनी में वो दिखाना पड़ेगा कि यस हमने ये हमारी कंपनी का लायबिलिटी इतना है कार्बन का और हमसे ये कम नहीं हो रहा, जीरो नहीं हो रहा, तो हम किसी और से परचेज करेंगे। तो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन से डिमांड एंड सप्लाई को फुलफिल करना कि एक कार्बन पॉजिटिव है, एक कार्बन नेगेटिव है, दोनों को मिला के हाउ यू मेक इट जीरो, दैट इज व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट। आई विल टेल यू द अनदर वे। स्टील में देयर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट कॉल्ड ग्रीन स्टील। Okay, there is a green steel is a certification, okay, but है उसका नाम स्टील से रिलेटेड ग्रीन स्टील रख दिया, बट है कुछ नहीं। वो बोल रहे हैं कि जब मेरे यहाँ से प्रोडक्शन निकल रहा है और स्टील जब बाहर आ रहा है वो जीरो है, कार्बन इमिशन जीरो, बिकॉज ही इज ऑलरेडी डन दैट थिंग। So as a steel manufacturer, somebody wants to demonstrate I am manufacturing a green steel, it means आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये होना चाहिए कि उसके यहाँ से जब स्टील बन के हमारे पास मार्केट में आ रहा है, वो स्टील बनाने में उसका कार्बन इमिशन जीरो है। अब टेक्निकली आप पूछ सकते हो कैसे जीरो हो सकता है सर? जीरो नहीं हो सकता। उसके प्रोसेस में से पहले 1000 टन इमिशन था, बिकॉज ऑफ रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज, बिकॉज ऑफ इफिशियंसी, बिकॉज ऑफ योर फॉरेस्टेशन, दे मेड फ्रॉम 1000 टू से 200 टन। But what about 200 ton? So for the 200 ton, he will trade that carbon certificates and make themselves zero. That is what it make a green steel. So this is all the different frameworks. Industry अपने अपने जैसे green steel निकाल लिया, कल को हो सकता है कि कोई हाइड्रोजन वाला हाइड्रोजन ग्रीन निकाल लेगा, कुछ और निकाल लेगा. But these are the format of certification, but evolving under carbon emission.
Yes.
That's all.
इसके अंदर मतलब बिकॉज आपने कार्बन क्रेडिट्स की बात करी है, अभी नाउ अब रिसेंटली काफ़ी लोगों ने वो कैंपेन देखी होगी जहाँ पे पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अनंत अंबानी ने जो एक वनतारा करके एक इनिशिएटिव लिया वेयर ही इज एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग द वाइल्ड लाइफ। उसके अंदर एग्जैक्टली लोग बोलते हैं कि ये बहुत बड़ा मास्टर स्ट्रोक है अंबानी फैमिली का, बिकॉज इससे ये लोग बहुत सारे कार्बन क्रेडिट्स जनरेट करेंगे। एंड तो लोग यहाँ पे समझना चाहते हैं एग्जैक्टली उसमें है क्या ऐसा चीज़।
देखिए, मैं आई वुड लाइक टू हाईलाइट इट हियर इन दिस वे। क्या है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जब उन्होंने ये प्रोजेक्ट को चालू किया होगा वनतारा को, इट्स जस्ट एन अजम्पशन, आई एम टेलिंग यू, कि जब उन्होंने वनतारा प्रोजेक्ट को चालू किया होगा तो देखिए, बीइंग अंबानीज, दे आर बिग कॉर्पोरेट्स, एंड कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो ऐसे चालू नहीं करते, ठीक है। दे डोंट इन्वेस्ट सिंपली, दे अंडरस्टैंड, दे हैव डन द रिसर्च एंड एनालिसिस, दे हैव डन द रिसर्च, they understand that what is the future market, okay, and considering that future market, considering that requirement, they started this Vantara as a, you can say, as a example, lead by example, okay, and they developed this Vantara, which is a huge forest with a lots of forestation has done, with a lots of plantation have done, lots of wildlife is there. So if you look into this particular requirement, I understand from this prospect that they have done a very good master stroke, what you said, by creating such forest, okay, such a beautiful place where how they will earn. Yes. You know that being Ambani's, they have lots of foundries, lots of agencies are there, which are carbon emission factories or carbon emission refineries are. So there are lots of refineries are there. So they are not going to get zero. That is sure. Okay. By any method, they are not going to zero by their own production activity, okay? It is going to be a carbon emission, okay? Now this carbon emission which they are generating, how they are going to make them zero? They are not able to make them zero. वो जीरो कर नहीं सकेंगे। अब उन्होंने जब ये वनतारा स्टैब्लिश किया है, डेफिनेटली इसका असेसमेंट हुआ होगा, पीडीडी बना होगा और इसको किसी ने ऑडिट किया होगा। ऑडिट करके इसके जो जनरेशन ऑफ कार्बन पॉजिटिव है वो कार्बन सर्टिफिकेट्स बने होंगे, एंड वो सर्टिफिकेट वो मार्केट में ट्रेड भी कर पाएंगे और अपने लिए भी यूज कर पाएंगे। सो दोनों ही केस में उनको फायदा है, एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द पॉजिटिव थिंग्स। नाउ लुकिंग इनटू दिस वनतारा एज अ प्रोजेक्ट, इट्स अ बिग प्रोजेक्ट, बट आई वुड लाइक टू हाईलाइट इट, वेरियस गवर्नमेंट इज ऑल्सो टेकिंग इनिशिएटिव दैट देयर इज अ लैंड इज देयर वेयर somebody can plantation is there, and government will generate that carbon certificate from that plantation. So it is happening in the market, and I will tell you that it's a very big master stroke by Ambani family, and they are going to generate huge business which you cannot expect or you cannot think of it from this particular activity in near future. And not only this, by carbon credits, he has done another master stroke because making One Tara so much popular with his son's marriage. Okay.
Yes.
The animals are there. Okay. So it will be also going to be, say, a tourist place. So they are going to earn from that segment also. So the any such kind of project has to be taken as a feasibility study, and I am sure Ambani Families has done a very good feasibility study.
Yes.
And I also, by this medium, through you, I would like to highlight that people who is having a land parcel, people who is having the lots of projects where they want to do this thing, first do the feasibility study by an expert organization. Without doing that, you come to us that, okay, we have a 2000 trees plantation and we want to do this carbon credit certificates. You will not get it. There is a process need to be followed.
Yes. कार्बन क्रेडिट्स के अंदर जो सपोज एक पर्सन है, उनका 5 एकड़ की जमीन है उसके पास में, एंड he decide to do plantation only for the purpose of get earning carbon credits, so that उसने उसके लिए feasibility study के लिए first he will वो आएगा. लेकिन in general मैं समझना चाहता हूँ कि is it actually like that, और उसके लिए मतलब land एक particular type की land होनी चाहिए, या it is applicable to all kind of plantations?
See, it is applicable to all kind of plantation. Say 5 एकड़ की land में भी हो सकता है और 500 एकड़ की land में भी हो सकता है.
Okay.
Only thing is that उसके लिए आपको PDD बनाना पड़ता है, प्रोजेक्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन बनाना पड़ता है, एंड हमें ये बताना पड़ता है, क्योंकि ये क्या है ना, ये एजम्पशन है. ओके, व्हेन वी से आज मैंने लैंड ली और लैंड लेने के बाद में मैं प्लांटेशन करूंगा. ओके, अभी मैं बोलूंगा मेरे पास ऑलरेडी लैंड है, मेरे पास ऑलरेडी 2000 ट्रीज है और उस पर मेरे को कार्बन सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, तो नहीं मिलेगा. ओके, अभी हमें कोई लैंड है, इसमें मैं प्लांटेशन करूंगा, तो पहले दिन से हमें प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट बनाना पड़ेगा एंड हमें उसको कार्बन रजिस्ट्री में भी रजिस्टर करना पड़ेगा आफ्टर गेटिंग ऑडिटेड, verified by a third party agency who is can say certification body having an accredited with ISO 17029, which is accreditation for carbon related business. Okay. Yes. And you have to audited on the standard called ISO 14064-1-2-3, and your project will be audited, and from that what you have declared that by today I am doing a plantation, next 5 years I will having a, because of doing this plantation I will get this much of carbon positive.
Okay, Shyam sir, now currently waste management industry जो इंडिया की है वो majority of it is unorganized, and still after lot of awareness still वहाँ पे child labor है. कहीं कहीं पे आपने देखा है कि मेन और वुमेन के बीच में जो वेजेस है उसमें भी फर्क है, वुमेन को कम वेज दी जाती है. बहुत अच्छी कंडीशन में वो लोग जो जिस कंडीशन में वो लोग काम कर रहे हैं, मतलब डेंजरस कंडीशंस में ही काम कर रहे हैं वो लोग, जहाँ से वो लोग वेस्ट कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. सो रैग पिकर्स के लिए एक लाइफ जो इतनी अच्छी नहीं है इस वक्त इंडिया के अंदर, और ओवरऑल जो सिनेरियो है वो उतना क्लीन नहीं हुआ है अभी तक, इवन दो आफ्टर लॉट ऑफ अवेयरनेस. सप्लायर्स जो है, जो प्लास्टिक वेस्ट के सप्लायर्स है या जो डिफरेंट वेस्ट के सप्लायर्स है, उनके अंदर ESG को लेके अवेयरनेस अभी तक नहीं आई है. What is ESG for, say, ESG may seem different for a large company like, say, Coca-Cola India or Pepsi, and then there is a mid-level company, and then there are these people जो कि EPR के थ्रू ये सब लोग एक ही चेन में जुड़ गए. तो इन सब के लिए कहाँ पे क्या क्या रूल एप्लीकेबल होते हैं?
लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू इन दिस वे. देखिए, आपने बड़ी कंपनी का नाम लिया, कोका कोला का नाम लिया, ठीक है. ये जितनी बड़ी कंपनी होती है ना, ये बड़ी कंपनी इज द, आई विल से, एवेन्यू फॉर दिस कंप्लायंसेस. ओके, कोई भी छोटी कंपनी से कंप्लायंस चालू नहीं होता है. हाँ. ये बड़ी कंपनियों से कंप्लायंस चालू होता है. पहले गवर्नमेंट इन्फोर्स करती है, ठीक है. अगर कोई रेगुलेटरी होता है तो गवर्नमेंट इन्फोर्स करती है. So EPR is enforced by government. Okay, that is called regulatory. Okay,
correct.
But ESG की बात करें तो ESG गवर्नमेंट का रेगुलेशन नहीं है. ESG का कंप्लायंस मुझे करना है कि नहीं करना है, अगेन इट्स डिपेंडेंट अपॉन मी कि मैं करूँ कि नहीं करूँ. बट लेट मी टेल यू द एग्जाम्पल, विल टेक विद द कोका कोला एग्जाम्पल. ओके, अब कोका कोला बेवरेजेस बनाती है, हमको पता है बेवरेजेस बनाती है. बेवरेजेस बनाने के बाद में वो उसको रॉ मटेरियल चाहिए होता है, तो उसकी सप्लाई चेन में हजारों कंपनियां होंगी सप्लाई चेन में.
Yes.
अब अगर ESG कोको कोला ने बोला, बिकॉज कोको कोला बीइंग अ बिग कंपनी, दे हैव देयर सस्टेनेबिलिटी ओथ, दे हैव देयर ESG रिक्वायरमेंट, एंड इट इज नाउ मैंडेटरी बाय दिस कॉर्पोरेट कंपनीज दैट कि आपको ESG कंप्लायंस करना है, इन्वायरमेंट, सोशल एंड गवर्नेंस.
Yes.
तो अगर मैं सोशल की बात करूं तो जो आपने बोला कि वेजेस, ओके, मिनिमम वेजेस एक्ट होता है, चाइल्ड लेबर होता है, ठीक है, वी हैव टू कंप्लाई कि कोई चाइल्ड लेबर नहीं होना चाहिए,
Yes.
मिनिमम वेजेस मिलना चाहिए, बोनस मिलना चाहिए, ओके, आपको हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी जो है वो कंप्लायंस होना चाहिए, पोस्ट कमिटीज आ गई, ठीक है, अगर आपका पोस्ट है, पोस्को है,
Yes.
बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. सो ये जो सोशल कंप्लायंस के अंदर में इसको कवर किया जाता है. और इन्वायरमेंट में जो है, इन्वायरमेंट में जो कवर किया जाता है वो आपका इन्वायरमेंट एंड उससे रिलेटेड जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, जैसे कार्बन कंप्लायंस, ये
Yes.
उसके अंदर आता है इन्वायरमेंट में. और लास्ट जो गवर्नेंस है, गवर्नेंस में आता है विच इज कॉल्ड एंटी बाइबलरी. ओके, इस तरह के रिक्वायरमेंट आते हैं. अब बिग कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी कोको कोला इज सेइंग देयर सप्लायर्स कि यू हैव टू कंप्लाई ESG, otherwise we will not buy a product from you. That is what is the mandate by a big corporate company. Now these small companies, which is a supplier to Coca-Cola, they come to us, okay, and saying that we want to comply for ESG, otherwise we will not able to do business in the market.
Yes.
So what they have to do? They have to comply all this segment, social, environment, and a government compliance.
Yes.
So if you do all these compliance together, and every organization is going to do like this thing, you will find out that there will be no rickpickers. Everybody has to be paid full. Okay, everybody has to be the compliance fully. India is a segment today, those companies which are exporting, those companies which are supplying to the big corporates, by the virtue of pressurized by the big corporate company or their compliance, they are following these requirements. So we'll find out that these companies are complying to these requirements, and the worker who are working in these organizations have all the facilities. Medical facilities they have, they are getting their payoff right time,
Yes.
they are getting their bonuses as per the defined parameters. Even you know that the Modi government has amended the labor law also, okay? So that is also a regulatory framework comes into the picture.
Correct.
And we need to follow these things. So many of the companies come to us because of these compliances, they are not able to do the business. Okay?
Correct.
So if they want to do a business, they have to comply this. And when they comply this, they have to work it out. So there is, here you have to follow and here there is no such system where you will get the certificate or compliance as a piece of paper. You have to demonstrate.
Yes.
The audited by third party. Okay? And that's how it will be going to happen. Yeah.
एंड सर जो लिस्टेड कंपनीज है, जैसे वो जो NSE BSE लिस्टेड कंपनीज है, बहुत सारी कंपनियां लास्ट 2 ईयर में बहुत सारी SME IPOs भी आए. ये जो कंपनीज है, इन लोगों ने, इनमें से कुछ कंपनीज बहुत जो प्रोग्रेसिव थी, उन लोगों ने वॉलेंटरी BRSR रिपोर्टिंग करी है. सो इवन दो BRSR वाज एक्चुअली एप्लीकेबल टू टॉप 1000 कंपनीज, मेरे को जितना समझा. सो उसके अंदर लेकिन बाकी उन्होंने वॉलेंटरी BRSR रिपोर्टिंग करी है. वो उन्होंने मतलब ऐसा प्रोग्रेसिव अप्रोच क्यों लिया है और उस पर क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है?
ये मैं आपको बता दूं, ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा. अगर मैं BRSR की बात करूं, विच इज रिपोर्टिंग मैकेनिज्म,
यस,
एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और हैज मैंडेट गिवन, ओके, और SEBI हैज गिवन द मैंडेट that all the listed company, 1000 top listed companies in BSE, NSE, they have to report BRSR. Okay.
Correct.
So now what is BRSR report? BRSR report is nothing. It is ESG. Okay. It is nothing. It is a ESG. Okay. ESG framework. You have to demonstrate your ESG framework. And when you are demonstrating ESG framework, you are talking about that environment, you are talking about carbon, you are talking about social compliance. So you are demonstrating all the food parts. How the BRSR reporting will be happen? BRSR reporting will be happen that organization will do the reporting, and there will be a validating body like us as a certification body will validate. We will ensure that the reporting what they are given is a correct report. That is called BRSR reporting.
Okay.
And you say that somebody has done a voluntary, somebody has done the requirement. As I said that SEBI has given a mandate that all the listed company has to do. on a BRSR report.
बट इवेंचुअली वो सब पे एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा.
वो सबके एप्लीकेबल हो, बिकॉज वो अपने सप्लायर को मांगेंगे. सो जो सप्लायर BRSR रिपोर्टिंग हैज कम अप विद द सेबी, बट जो सप्लायर जब वो ESG मांग रहा है वो और कुछ नहीं है, वो BRSR का कंप्लायंस.
Yes.
और यूएस की कंपनी है, यूरोप की कंपनी है, वो आपको जब बोल रही है कि आप ESG कंप्लायंस करो, वो कुछ नहीं है. वो इंडिया में BRSR बोल रहे हैं, यूएस में कुछ और बोलते हैं, यूरोप में कुछ और बोलते हैं. रिपोर्टिंग हर जगह सेम है.
Correct.
So there is a reporting in Malaysia also for carbon. There is a reporting of carbon in Europe also. So everywhere, all developed countries having their more mechanism, and the countries which are developing right now is having a less mechanism. India is in between that. Okay, we are not developed, but we are on the urge of development. So yes, we have to fulfill all these requirements. India being a big country, we are the supplier to corporates, we are supplier to international, and that's why we have to demonstrate our requirement. Another one of the important certification I would like to highlight it here. Many of the big corporate companies are asking about EcoVadis. Okay, EcoVadis. Okay.
Okay.
So somebody say यार EcoVadis certification मुझे चाहिए. So what do you mean by EcoVadis certification? EcoVadis certification एक framework है, which is demonstrating the requirement of ESG only. Okay. So there is one company, okay, who is in the manufacturing of say a pharma product, okay, API, and they supplying to the big pharma company, and the pharma company saying that either you demonstrate social compliance called SEDEX, or you demonstrate EcoVadis. Okay. So when we prepare them for EcoVadis, okay, what they are going to do, again they have a simple formula. You have to comply quality, environment, health safety, carbon, okay, information security, sustainability. These all framework when you demonstrate, and then you will get a EcoVadis. It's not a certification. When EcoVadis is a framework where you upload all these things, and EcoVadis will give you a score. That okay, you got this score, now you are approved with us as a vendor. That's how it is there. So EcoVadis is a framework, I will say.
In fact, sir, a lot of listed companies, they get ESG score as well.
Yeah.
Is it applicable only to manufacturers, or it is applicable to supply chain, traders, everyone?
It's applicable to everyone in the entire supply chain. Okay. And yes, I will always say that first is a manufacturer.
Yes.
Okay. Then it will be you have to define which is more polluting industries. Okay. Or which is more need to be compliance. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, first aspect is coming to the manufacturer. Second will be like a transporter, which is again the logistics companies are there. And then it will be coming to the service industry. Maybe the time will come where the service company is also coming into the picture, that you have to demonstrate your ESG compliance, because we are also related, because we are using electricity, we are using laptops, or the instruments, we are using the ACs. Okay, AC is also generating heat, and through heat that the carbon is there. So there is a called carbon footprint.
Yes.
So every person generate their own carbon footprint, and every organization they generate their carbon footprint. So everybody has to think of that how I can zero down my carbon footprint. Okay. So if I will think that, okay, I am having a lifespan of 100 years, and for 100 years I need to plant 9 trees. That's the way I can zero down my carbon emission for 100 years. I'm just giving you a rough calculation.
Yes.
But when you calculate, you will come to know that for 100 years of lifespan, how much you emitted the carbon, because we also emit the carbon. Okay.
Yes.
So we have our own carbon footprint. So even a small company, whether it's a service industry, they have their own carbon footprint, and you have to demonstrate that how you can minimize it. So it may become, but yes, first impact is to the manufacturing.
So, and you help with ESG score as well. So in this also there is a assessment, and then on the basis of all 3 parameters, basically they have to come through a third party who will validate them, and they give the ESG score. It's the same process.
Technically, all this certification other than EPR. Okay. EPR is a regulatory framework. Okay. It has to be done by the Pollution Control Board department. Okay. So there is already standard establishment there. Other than ESG, BRSR, or a carbon emissions. Okay. These all you need to have a 3 level of structure. Let me explain you this methodology. The first level is that a client who is looking for that, I will comply with ESG. What they have to do, they have to first prepare their documentation, okay? In terms of demonstration, like manual procedures, SOPs, calculation of the data. These all demonstration has to be happen. Once this demonstration is happen, the third party as a certification body will come up, which is approved by an accreditation board. Okay, so in India, the accreditation board is NABCB. Okay, National Accreditation Board for Certification Bodies.
Okay.
So they will approve a certification body that is you are now authorized to conduct the audit. Okay, and either verify it that what they are declared value is correct, or you validate that what they are going to achieve is acceptable or not. So both the things need to, you become a verification and validation body. That is the term name as VVB, verification and validation bodies, under the accreditation called ISO 17029. Okay, and you become a certification body and you are allowed to do this carbon related business. Okay, but any other related business, you have a other accreditation called ISO 17021 for the certification body for management system like quality, environment, health, safety. Okay, and if you want to be an inspection body, you have to be comply with ISO 17020. Okay, and if you want to become a product certification body, it is accreditation called ISO 17065. So various accreditation are there to become a certification body controlled by the accreditation board, which is known as AB. And in India, the AB is NABCB. If I talk about US, the AB is IAS, which is International Accreditation Services. If I talk about UK, UCAS is the one who is a accreditation board. So various accreditation boards are there which we need to be help the companies to become a certification body. And once you become a certification body, then you are eligible to conduct the audit and issue the score or issue the certificate. That's how it is going to be.
Amazing, sir. In the end, just want to know from you. Well, I have known your journey for a long time now. How do you manage? You have several offices. You have in different countries. So how do you manage the whole team and international business as well? What do you think is like dealing with the domestic and the global business? How difficult it is, or how what are the advantages and disadvantages?
See, I will tell you, being in the industry from last 22 years, we expanded very well. And we have our corporate office in Mumbai. And followed with, we have a various freelance people who are associated with more than 100 people who are working with us as a freelance consulting and as a certification domain who is supporting us. We are also associated with various big certification bodies like TUE, BVKID and BSGS, where we need the help of them for getting audited of our clients where they are looking forward the certain specific standard or certain specific requirement. As an organization, we have a strength of around more than 50 people right now in my organization. And we have an expertise to handle the domestic business as well as the international market. Myself travel a lot worldwide, and we have a footprint in more than 50 countries right now. We have supported the companies for various certifications, various regulatory requirements, and yes, we are also in the expansion. We are ourselves is a compliance first, and the compliance is the one which we are always taking ahead. And the one belief is there: if you are compliance or you are comply, your journey is limitless. So I always request, or I will always suggest as a tip to the organization, that in your organization, the financial balance sheet is taken care by the auditors, which is a chartered accountant. Okay, the operational efficiency will be taken care by the machineries. Okay, and the people who are managing. But the legal compliance, okay, yes, in big corporate, you have a legal advisors are there, but in a small companies, the legal advisors are not there. The owner himself trying to become the legal advisor and he failed to the inputs. So here the role of people like us comes into the picture, who handle these legal compliances and helping them to grow their journey in a big fold. And that is our main aim. We help companies to grow their business by stay compliance and certified. Thank you.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot, Shyam Sharma ji. It's been a really pleasure, doing this podcast because I get to learn a lot from you. In fact, when it comes to certifications, compliances, sustainability, ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जो आज की जो नई कंपनीज है उनको ग्रोथ पाथ पे कैसे जाना है वो एक्चुअली यहाँ पे डिफाइन हुआ है. एंड अगर आप कोई बिजनेस हो जो फंड रेज करना चाह रहा है या किसी इन्वेस्टर के पास जाना चाहते हो या आप एक लिस्टेड कंपनी हो, सो इन्वेस्टर्स बहुत क्लोजली देखते हैं कि आपकी कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस कैसी है, आपका आपकी कंपनी में ESG को लेके कितनी अवेयरनेस है, मैनेजमेंट का विजन क्या है सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ. सो ऑल दीज फैक्टर्स प्ले अ वेरी वाइटल रोल. In fact, I was really lucky to get Shyam Sharma sir here and get to learn a lot from him. In fact, बहुत सारे topics थे, though it was really difficult to get into everything, but I think we will ask you again to come for more topics related to say sustainability and compliances. So thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.